Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Paragon campaign. Just a couple quick things before we get into it. I will pass it on over to Andrew, who is down that way.
It's me. It's me. Just a reminder, our Patreon is up and active. Any of the tiers, you get exclusive access to pre-released videos that we do. We'll actually be doing some exclusive videos later down the line as well. But if you want to get any of the Aurora and Expounded episodes done early, any of the tiers can get you access to that. And if you join the Paragon tier, which is like the premium tier, you get a permanent discount in our merch store, and that is forever. A 15% discount on everything that you buy. And also we'll be doing some giveaways, and we're soon going to be having some gifts set out for the first 100 subscribers to that as well. But that's pretty much all I got for now, just other than, just a simple plug of check out our merch store, D-Fourtress.com. No hyphen in the name with that one. And if you're wondering how to spell it, just look at the channel name that you're watching right now. But that's all I got.
All right. Only thing I got is be sure to be checking out mine and Andrew's personal Twitch channels. Andrew's Special Sauce. I'm G.VA. And we just, whenever we're playing a random game we want to stream, that's where we do it. All right. So I think that's literally everything. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll the intro. And we are back. So, last time we left off, the Paragon, after waking up after Dante's departure, they also said their goodbyes to Grandmaster Hawks, and as well as Jazzy and Ruby, as they made their way, Grandmaster Hawks offering to escort them. Before setting out, Vivi had received a message via sending from none other than Grimshaw, cashing in on part of...
It was very spooky hearing voices in my head. Yeah. I'd never had that before.
cashing in on a fragment of the debt that Vivi's family owes Grimshaw, that Vivi has taken upon himself solely. And so after Vivi left, the Paragon decided to go and investigate and see if there were any leads on Beltan Freehallow, the corrupt tax collector that plagued Ardevon's consciousness. They went and they set about they went to the manor that they had stormed initially to find it surrounded by guards and to see who could only be assumed as the city's sheriff in a very heated argument with another figure by the front door, who they couldn't quite make out. But during this, they found out that nobody, not even any of the city guard, were permitted to enter the premises. Only the sheriff was in and out during that time. And so they decided to chase down some other leads. They sent some letters as well, but they managed to find a blacksmith shop called the Black Anvil, owned by a set of siblings, 2 orcs, the brother being named Korgil and the sister Rosab. Upon seeing Rosab, her enchanted prosthetic right arm sparked an idea in Ardevon's head to perhaps maybe find a way he could do the same for his brother, who is missing his dominant hand. And they were able to discover a powerful fragment of a magical forge that Korgil had received as a gift from his master, sparking yet another idea to see if they could see if the Paragon could locate this blacksmithing master who is deep inside Black Brim Mountain in a place called Agramar. But in order to be taught, Ardevon would have to bring something to him to show that he is worthy. With this in mind, though, they decided to continue their investigation into Beltan Freehallow, eventually arriving at his office. Putting on disguises, you went in under the guise of opening a new bakery. However, it seemed that the occupants there had no real patience to deal with you during that time. Amelia turned herself invisible and infiltrated a room to find Beltan Freehallow himself talking with a man with a sickle and chain, and the shadow sorcerer that Amelia had convinced to run away from the fight in the mansion. And they learned that, and upon eavesdropping, Amelia learned that Beltan Freehallow was desperately trying to amass funds to support an individual known as Egorod over in Rascalia. A warlord that seemed ready to march on the other warlords in there once he had the goods that Beltan was providing. However, with their refusal to leave, the man with the sickle and chain came and gave a light interrogation to the disguised party members, and was able to discern from them that nobody in the town would come looking for them should they go missing. So he proceeded to lock them inside and reveal his true form as a chain devil. As the fight ensued, Ardevon absolutely obliterated this chain devil, and made his path out to go and take down Freehallow. And during this time, with some few close calls, you were able to dispatch the chain devil, dispatch the shadow sorcerer, leaving Ardevon alone with Beltan Freehallow. But before he could get his swing off, a devil appeared. A female devil, red in skin, standing about 8 feet tall, wings, hooves, and a tail. Beltan's patron. And she had informed Beltan that he had missed his payments. She cast Power Word Stun to keep Ardevon in place for just a moment, as she explained to Beltan that he no longer met the terms of their pact. And so, the devil wished him luck and stopped concentrating on the power word stun, leaving Ardevon to smite Beltan down, sending him up the wall of the back alley, leaving behind a bloody trail, sending his mangled corpse flying to the next street over. And with that, Amelia made a run for it out of fear. Ardevon trudged off, exhausted and confused. And Cosmo had a moment with this devil, where the devil also mentioned that she currently now has a new deal with this Egorod, seeming to spark some recognition within Cosmo. And to this devil's face, Cosmo said that she will end his warpath. And with that, the devil vanished. Now, during this time, Vivi, you come across the same scene of guards surrounding the now the bloodied mansion. You know the interior is very bloodied. How do you plan on getting in? There's roughly 30 to 40 guards. Grimshaw has tasked you with retrieving some documents, specifically documents of people on Beltan Freehallow's payroll, so that Grimshaw himself can send his men out to deal with them personally.
Well, I think what I did last time worked pretty well, so I think I'll find a new angle and just dig a little hole, just small enough for my own bum. See if I can find a new entrance into the basement.
All right. So as you are going, you're making this tunnel, digging down through. You set it quite a ways away, so it takes you a little bit to get into there, but you set it quite a ways away, so nobody can really detect you. Till eventually you get to where you think the building is, and then you're met with a stone wall in front of you. As you poke and prod on it, it's not the most reinforced stone wall. It uses a dirt around it to keep it compacted. What do you do?
Well, I mean, with the light burrow speed that I have, I can at least loosen the dirt, which keeps it compacted to the point where maybe I can pry it loose.
All right. Okay, yeah.
Slip it out, something like that.
Yeah, are you using anything to pry it loose, or?
I've got a crowbar.
All right, go ahead and make a athletics check, and the crowbar gives you advantage on that.
Great. Athletics with advantage. A 14.
14. Easy.
Yep.
Yeah, easy enough. It takes you a little bit, but eventually you push out a few stones for a small enough hole to crawl through. And as you crawl through this opening, you find yourself in a relatively compact basement, but there seems to be 2 empty prison cells on one end and a staircase going up. And judging by what you can see, it seems that this basement has not had use in at least a couple weeks.
Okay. I'm gonna, as I leave, or rather as I enter the basement, I'm gonna prestidigitate behind me to clear off any possible dirt tracks I might leave coming into the dungeon or basement. And I will stealthily head to the stairs.
All right. Make a stealth check.
Stealth check with a self-guidance of 1.
All right.
Stealth is... Total is 14, again.
14. Okay. So, as you as you go up, you feel pretty confident you're being sneaky. You don't really disturb much. And as you make your way to as you make your way to the door, you open it, and you see a long hallway. A door at the end of the hallway, and a door on the right-hand side of the hallway.
So 2 doors.
2 doors, yep.
This is not the part of the house that we were in before?
It is not, no.
Just new place. Let's take the door at the end of the hall.
You go to the end of the hall and you open it, and you are greeted with the familiar sight of the open entry hall, with several of the corpses still littering the ground and the broken stone golem littering the entire area. So as you're looking out, on your left are the double doors that were broken down by the golem, with the room with the piano in it. On the right is the front door, and through the front door you hear muffled arguing. Make a perception check for me.
Sure. Perception. Ooh, hello. 23 plus 3. 26.
26. Oh, yeah. So you do hear the voices. They're muffled, but you can make them out. And you hear one voice saying, "This is my jurisdiction. You are not needed here." "Well, I have some concerns, and I'd like to take a peek for myself. So if you wouldn't mind stepping aside and letting me in." "I can't do that. This is my jurisdiction." "Tell me, is there a reason you have 30, 40 guardsmen here, and you're the only one investigating?" "Inquisitor, I don't think I appreciate your tone. And I don't appreciate your insubordination." And the argument just kind of keeps going in circles like that.
I'm gonna don't have anything on me like for this. I use prestidigitation to cause what sounds like some footsteps running in a different direction from where I'm at, but something that might distract the guard. Did you say it was a guard, or was it the sheriff?
The sheriff that's right outside the front door, so he's not inside.
Yeah, just some distraction to get their attention elsewhere.
All right.
And
I will allow that. Go ahead and I guess make a deception check just to see how effectively.
That'll be a nat 20 plus a 4 on the. It's a. Okay,
They're tap dancing.
27 plus 4, and it was a nat 20.
Wow.
Alrighty. So 31, nat 20 for a total of 31. All right. So as you're so you do that, which direction are you going? So you have the areas on your left, and then you have the piano room, the kitchen, and then that hallway that led to the spiral staircase.
Let's check the piano room first.
All right. So
the distraction is to keep their attention away from me. But let's check the piano room.
All right. So as you're going, you go into the piano room, and you hear the door open and.
Oi, princess, keep up.
Yeah, and you hear the door open and close. With that, and he's just like, "How dare you push past me like that?" "Well, I thought I heard something. You know about probable cause, don't you, Sheriff?" And you just hear kind of a thing, and they're poking around. "Quite the bloodbath, Sheriff. You know, you could use a few sets of hands in here to help you recover all the evidence. I said, this is my jurisdiction, and I've got it handled. Of course you do. And their conversation stops. What are you, and you hear them go and start walking in the direction that the prestidigitation sent them to.
So, I would need to take a moment to like search the piano room to see if I can find any.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking for documents, right? So, wherever documents might be kept, maybe are there books? Can I rifle through the books? Can I pull open desk drawers, stuff like that?
There doesn't really seem to be any desks. The piano room seems to be more of a lounge than anything. The only cupboard that's in there seems to be a wine rack.
Okay, then back up the spiral staircase, I think.
All right. Make your way down to the spiral staircase, and you're met with just a short hallway with one set of double doors on the end.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Peering through a keyhole, putting my ear to the door, seeing if I can hear what's on the other side.
Make a perception check.
Uh, 9.
You do not hear anything through this door.
Okay. I'm gonna slowly peek in. Open the door and peek in.
Alrighty. As you peek in, you see a very interesting looking bedroom. There is a large, comfortable bed. It seems kind of lavish, but at the same time a little bit minimalist. It's very Valdesian in its decoration. Coming from the it seems very inspired by furniture that you would find in Valdish, the country that is on the continent Misgal to the west. So there's a lot of imported stuff. So you see imported silks, like some nice, very nice bamboo furniture, very soft mats. As well as
imported silks.
Yeah.
Gotta steal everything. Steal absolutely everything in this room.
Princess, did you see those silks? Those are really nice. Let's get those. I send Princess to get the silks, but then I keep searching for document stuff.
Yeah, there is a clothing dresser as well as a nightstand in the corner.
Yeah, I think I'll pilfer the nice silks.
All right. So as you open, you do find in there a strange looking ring with some runes carved on the inside of the ring, with what looks to be like a translucent, almost look like glass pearl on it. And as you're looking,
we'll just pocket that and keep moving, keep looking.
And as you're rifling through, you find a bill of sale and an instruction manual for a stone golem. And you see the stone golem was sold by an individual named. Let me check my notes.
That's a long name.
Galric, who seems to be located in the city of Sanctuary in Rascalia.
Well, I'm not entirely sure if that's relevant, but maybe it might be.
Yeah. So you see that, and then as you're going through, you find a little black book, a little black journal. It's little in height and length, but however, it is pretty thick.
Check the contents. What's in it? What's it? What's it tell me?
Payouts. You see names, including Sheriff Arborim. Has a lot of pages dedicated to him of different things with little footnotes by it. Cleaning up mess. Payout, and these are pays that Beltan has both dished out and received from other people. You see, and so you see several things, but you also see you see a list of a well-known pirate crew that was only recently apprehended in the last couple years, called the Bloody Anchors. Things like that, and as well as notes on his personal notes on finances, both given and received from refounders. The cult.
Does this match the? This booklet? Does this match the description of what I was sent here for?
Yes, this gives you exactly. What you were looking for. And another thing that you do notice is Beltan was kind enough to include the names of the refounder cultists that he dealt with. And so you know that the Veil
Liability.
you know that the Veil Keepers, specifically Cromwell and Revelar and Grimshaw would be very interested in that, as well as Guthric Hardcastle.
I'll just pop that in my bag and check to see if Princess has finished her job.
She has folded up about four sheets of really nicely embroidered silk into small enough things that you could stuff in your pack.
4 sheets.
Okay, Princess. Let's get out of here. Don't need to linger any longer.
And make my way back the way I came, slowly checking behind the corners as I get to each new hallway.
All right. As you make your way back down the spiral staircase, to kind of the little foyer area without any trouble, until you get to the entrance, into the big entryway where the stone golem was finally slain. And you see the two people finally converge. You see Sheriff Arborim, who is a half-elven man. You see he's got a shaved head. He's wearing some hexagonal spectacles and has just a thin, kind of graying mustache. And standing opposite him, you see none other than Inquisitor Cromwell. The Furbolg gentleman, his cane at his side, and he seems to be holding up a hand-bound book. Sheriff? Would you happen to know the contents of this? Inquisitor, I can't say that I do. Funny. Because this is a book of contracts. And it's got your signature on it. And there's just this moment where the air feels heavy. And And as they stare at each other, Sheriff Arborum, I am placing you under arrest for suspicion of corruption, aiding and abetting a kidnapper, false imprisonment, bribery, and before he finishes his sentence, you see the sheriff, filthy faith fuck, and pull out a black powder pistol. And he's gonna pull the trigger.
Can I just as an immediate reaction as fast as I can I please cast heat metal on that thing?
Go ahead and roll initiative for me.
Yes!
Sure. 6.
Go die.
You actually, it was a 5 and a 4 for me on this dice, so you actually do go first.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Wait.
yeah.
Yes.
As long as okay, so a couple questions before we start.
Yeah.
Are they blocking my path out that I came in on?
No, they are not. They are kind of halfway in the entrance, halfway in like the big open entryway. The basement that you crawled in through is on a door on the immediate right. So you would enter into their field of view.
I'd like to attempt to cast heat metal on it, but still remain unseen, so that neither of them know I'm there. If I can do such a thing.
That will require a pretty high DC stealth check, but go ahead and give it a shot. So what does the heat metal do? Does he immediately take the damage?
I'd like to assist.
Heat metal.
Air 5.
So there's no save; it just works.
pray.
Yeah, it just works.
60 foot range. Choose manufactured metal object. You cause the object to glow red hot. Any creature in physical contact with the object takes 2d8 fire damage when you cast the spell.
All right, go ahead and do the 2d8 fire damage.
11.
11. You see it burn his hand, and with the metal being heated, it ignites the gunpowder within the pistol. As the pistol explodes in his hand, as you hear this scream, as you see he's holding the stump where his hand used to be, as more blood and viscera just litter what was there the day before. And at the same moment, you see Cromwell close the distance, and he is going to look him up
Stab
and
him in
down.
the heart.
So the
That's
sheriff
what
has
he's
to
gonna
make
do.
a deception check. That is a natural
Guess we can
1.
call that misfire.
That is a natural 1. So he fails the deception check against Cromwell. So Cromwell is going to come in with his cane and pull out a short sword from it.
Oh!
And go and slice it. Attempt to slice it across his neck. Natural 20. I need to calculate this on my computer.
By the way, I got a 27 for that stealth you mentioned earlier. It is not a natural 20. I just have a very high bonus.
All right, and Cromwell does 32 piercing damage to him.
Ooh.
Sneak attack, because he failed the deception check. And so Cromwell goes and drives the cane sword right through his throat. And you just hear Cromwell, should have gone easy. And takes it out as he goes and make his perception check. He does not notice you.
Oh.
Well,
It's okay, princess. We like Cromwell.
however,
But let's not get in his way.
Yeah, and with the gunpowder going off, you now hear footsteps converging.
I'm
converging.
Gonna make a quick exit the way I came in,
All right. And
like
you
I was
do
never
so
there.
You do so successfully. In and out. So, as you make it out, you see the bit of chaos controlled once bit of chaos happening as you come out of your tunnel, seeing the guards kind of rushing in.
Can I attempt to replace the stone that I removed? Just put it back.
Yeah.
So it just really looks like I was never there.
Yeah. Yeah. Easy enough to fit it in. These are pretty big stones, so you can.
Okay. And then one other thing. As I leave the tunnel, also I would like to attempt to bury the tunnel behind me.
All right.
Because I know that this place is going to get searched for evidence very thoroughly, and I'd like to just try to remove any obvious evidence that I was there.
I would say you can fill it in pretty easily. However, to make it look undisturbed, go ahead and give me like a sleight of hand, I guess, would probably be the best one.
Okay. With a guidance. Got a 3 on the guidance, sleight of hand. Total of 31.
Oh, yeah. You were never there, like a ghost.
You lost the hole after you got out.
So, as you make your way out, you see the guards kind of going, and you see Cromwell come out dragging the body of the sheriff and the book, and he starts barking orders for people to go in, search the house, and then it seems to pull over a commanding officer and starts flicking through the book, seeming to answer the officer's was the sheriff dead?
Oh yeah. Is it too late for me to? Is he dead or is he currently like making saving throws?
Oh no, it was a killing blow.
It was a straight up kill. Okay.
With the 11 damage that you did, it put him over his negative max health.
Wow.
Well.
Yeah, he had only 18 health, and you took away 11, so he was at 7 health and then 32 damage.
Then Vivi and Princess scamper off into the night with their pilfered loot, and I run to where I believe the rest of the Paragon will be.
All right. The only place you know is the inn where you would meet up afterward. Okay. So,
right.
As you make your way back to the roosted wyvern, they don't seem to be there. So, are you doing anything while you're waiting?
What about the rescued girls? Are they there?
They were already escorted away.
They were there.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, before you left, yeah.
So the rest of the Paragon's not at the inn. What time of day is it?
It's getting into the mid-afternoon by this point.
I'll go down and ask the barkeep and tip him. I'll tip him 5 copper. Just. Hi mate, have you seen my mates? You've seen a large, hairy, wolfish creature, a one-eyed half-orc, a pretty princess, and an elf maiden.
He says, "And an elf maiden."
I'm the pretty princess.
That's right.
Like, wait a minute! I thought I was not for a second. Wait a minute.
It's the earring.
Well,
that was a dig. Yes.
I did see them leave a little while ago, but I don't know where to. But they I guess they turned right outside the door, headed south. But other than that, I'm not sure.
All right. Well, keep the copper, and I'll see you later. Thank you.
Of course.
I scram.
All right. Are you heading out in the direction he said?
Yeah.
All right. So, Vivi, as you are making your way through the city, going through streets, you're asking around, And people don't seem to recognize who you're talking about, as they did throw on disguises. But then, after a little bit, you hear a scream. What do you do?
Characteristically running towards the scream, of course. What else?
As you go, you see a small crowd just gathering in the middle of the street. And as you get a view of what it is, you see mangled corpse of a halfling. Half of his skull has just been caved in, and his bones are all twisted and mangled. And you hear a lady in hysterics crying about how he just fell from the sky.
His hand is over there. His leg is right there.
And as you're going, you hear people going like,
The mystery.
Is this another case of like this is dead, or he's like about to die?
Oh no. He is
Oh,
so,
he's so
dead.
dead.
All
No.
7 pieces of him are dead.
It's questionable if he ever lived at all.
Yeah. And as you're going, you hear people kind of shouting and everything. And one guy says just like, "That's that little bastard Freehallow." Well, and people are just going, "Well, did somebody get to him? How?" And people start asking and start doing the like drawn up theories. Maybe the merchants finally got to him. No, they wouldn't hurt a fly. Well, maybe maybe a deal went south. Yeah, but he usually has precautions. What is going on? And you can assume just from them, this is the corpse of the man whose mansion you just broke into, Beltan Freehallow. So, during
I'm gonna try to like just mix into the crowd and remain just unnoticed, and just start being like, well, I heard he was completely corrupt and keeping slaves and human trafficking, and then just like zip over to the other side. Yeah, well, I heard, and just like start spreading like these little rumors.
Because you're
Very
technically
good.
telling the truth, make a persuasion check.
That's my man right there.
Advantage. Yeah.
Ooh, that'll be a nat 1.
Nat 1.
Ooh.
That'll
It's
be a
too
nat
much.
1.
They can't
Kind of
miss him.
as you're going.
Wait, really quick. Before we do it, Amelia did put that time rewind thing on Vivi before leaving for the day.
You can re-roll anything
Oh,
you
yeah.
want. That's right. She put
If
Fortune's
you want to
favor on
re-roll
you.
that, you can.
Let's see.
Yeah, she
Thanks for
I
remembering
don't
that.
know how consequential this is. I don't know. I'll just
You don't have
I'll
to.
just do
It's
that.
just
I'll just do that and
fun.
scamper away.
As you're going, some of the people,
Thank you for the reminder. I don't think this is all that consequential.
Yeah, but as you're kind of doing that, rather than seeming like you're convincing him, you get a couple. Yeah, we know he's a sicko. kind of a thing, where it's like, and the thing is, with Beltan Freehallow, it was one of those situations everybody knew the scumbag, but he was untouchable. It was
All right. Well, at least I didn't turn them all like on his side with that nat 1 there.
no. But as you start going, you see kind of the trajectory and the smear he left on the ground. You know what direction he came from. And so as you make your way that direction, Ardevon, what is your current state as Vivi stumbles upon you?
Well, ever since the swing itself, he had a lot of pent-up emotions, especially when he got stunned and paralyzed. He recognized Ardevon and he vowed to destroy Drifton, Ardevon's home. And so while he was frozen there, he was so full of, like, not just, pent-up rage and all this emotion, but there's a ton of fear of, if he gets away, I've condemned my family to death, kind of a thing. So that kill was just a release of all this tension and emotion, and after the fact, he has no idea how to handle it. So he's actually very dizzy, and he's kind of stumbling, and not all
Is
quite
he
in his
alone?
senses. I don't think Wayne and Cosmo should still be with me, or Cosmo was like close by.
We're
Amelia
inside the
ran
window.
away. Yeah, Amelia ran away. So
Vivi,
You would hear me through the
Go
window
ahead.
saying, you would hear me through the window, and if you see me, I would have like Cosmo's shirt. I'd be like, Cosmo, we need to get out of here.
She would just kind of be like leaning against the window, just trying to breathe. She looks very similar to when she has her blank rage. She has no emotion on her face, but you can feel it. You can feel the anger and the hatred coursing through her as she just tries to let it go enough to, get back enough to leave or listen to anyone.
as I approach you guys, and just sorry, one more thing. Amelia is also present.
Gone.
No,
No.
Amelia.
Gone. Okay.
she ran away. You might have seen her,
And-
her like disguised self, but didn't recognize her.
I know exactly what I want to do here. I need to know one more thing. How close in proximity are Ardevon and Cosmo, please?
Maybe 10, 15 feet.
Perfect. First of all, so I come out of the shadows and I can see that my friends are in distress. I can smell the fear and the anger. And Vivi snaps into a sort of state of seriousness that he's not usually in. And he approaches Ardevon directly so that he can be seen. And he walks in the calmest walk that he can and speaks to Ardevon and to Cosmo. I know you're hurting. Trust me for a moment, my friend. I can help you. And I cast calm emotions on the both of them.
Oh.
Do you let it, or are you gonna try and make the save?
You can attempt to beat the save, that is correct, or you can allow it.
I'm gonna make the save. What save is it?
You would need to beat a DC 15
Con save?
reading charisma save. A charisma saving throw.
Okay, 7. So she fails, but
Mm-hmm.
I think Ardevon will let it happen. He needs
So-
whatever he can get right now.
With the words, with his body movement, and just with a very slow, low note, Vivi casts in a 20-foot circle, so getting both of them, a calm emotions effect. There's a mechanical effect for this, but for our purposes here in roleplay, I think calm emotions just does exactly what it sounds like. It is supposed to banish a fear effect if there is one on you. We rescued your sister. Yes? Who else is in danger?
I don't know. I think, as far as my home is concerned, it might actually be over. I don't know what to do or how to feel. And he's kind of looking at his hand. Like his hands are kind of like shaking a lot. He's not used to being like unstable or anything. And so there's like where it was like a lot more hectic or chaotic emotion, but now it's a lot more calm. He's more inquisitive at his whole state. Thanks for the assist. I'm going to need some time to process all of this, but I think it might be over. I pray that it is.
I've got your back, both of you.
I think with that, Wayne, he wasn't terribly like emotionally affected by what happened, but he's just looking at the destruction and the crowd of people gathering, and he's like, guys, we need to leave. And I start grabbing Cosmo, and I'm like, we'll meet you back at the inn. And I'm gonna grab Cosmo and start pulling towards the other end of the building.
Jill just let him. She's kind of in a daze right now.
Amelia, as you run through the streets, where are you running to?
The only safe place that she has, which is that little room in their little condo, whatever, I don't know what it's called, at the inn.
In the suite?
She has her own little room in the suite. She's gonna run all the way there.
Alright, as you go in, you rush up the stairs. Make a, let me roll, D3 to see. Make a wisdom saving throw.
You're muted.
Yeah, you're muted. Still muted.
8.
As you make it into your room, what do you do?
I think she's gonna she just slams the door because her heart's pumping. She's really scared. So she closes the door and she puts her back to it, right? She does that slide thing where she slides down till she's in a comfortable almost fetal position, and she's just trying to recover and breathe.
As you're sitting there, your head swims a little bit, your vision blurs. Then you hear, "Why did you run?"
She'd look around because she thinks that probably someone in here. She at the start, she looks around the room.
I could have taken them. Devils like that, they like to play games. I play better. Would you like me to show you how?
I'd like you to tell me who you are.
Family.
Family?
Oh, did dear Daddy never tell you? Oh. What a powerful but poor foolish man. But rest assured, I am here to help. And
Is this is it in my head or is it around me?
it is in your head.
Yeah, I think she's speechless. She doesn't know how to think about this.
That fear that you have, use it. Burn it away and use it as fuel. Make another wisdom saving throw.
One.
The effect on your head stops, and the voice vanishes.
She'll just it's too much at once, right? Like, she was freaking out already. She was on a heightened emotion. Something crazy just happened. She doesn't know how to process it. I think she's gonna just kind of like blankly stare forward because her emotion. She's trying to get to a state where she can think, but she's not capable of that right now. So that's how we're gonna leave her. Is just not knowing.
Loading screen.
Probably for the first time in a long time. Like, she doesn't know how to process this.
Right. Wayne and Cosmo. Wayne, you dragged Cosmo off. Did you guys split up to make your way to the inn?
It's me and Cosmo walking together.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd be kind of looking around and just like suspicious of everyone walking by, even though it's normal people. Just like, oh no, is there gonna be more people coming for us, kind of a thing. So I would want to be attempting to be a little bit stealthy going back.
Make a deception check. So you're not like actually sneaking, you're just trying to blend in a bit.
22.
Okay.
Well, I'm not bright yellow anymore, so it's
Yeah.
it'll be a lot easier.
Right.
I'm kind of gray right now, so. Hey, it matches my mood.
Since when did your color change?
They're all in
Well, our
disguises.
disguises. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
donned the colors
Disguise.
of Grimshaw on accident, but also kind of on purpose.
And then I think I would, while we're going, I would want to do kind of an insight check on Cosmo just to see what's going on, kind of a thing. You can set the DC to what you want it to be, but I got a 21.
Whatever I would have thought of, that's way above. Okay. The calm emotions helped a lot. So now there's less anger, but it's still there. Angry, a little lost. She doesn't know quite how to get rid of this feeling. So she's just silently letting it run its course, basically.
Let me roll a personal dice real quick. Okay. So I think when they're going through one of the alleys, you kind of stop and like square your shoulders a little bit. You're like, are you okay?
She'll just kind of look at him and then kneel down a bit and just hug him.
And at first he'd be kind of like shocked, but like you hug back too. It's kind of awkward, but like he wants to be supportive. And it's just like, how'd you know that demon?
I didn't.
Did she cast a spell on you too? And then he kind of pull away and like look in your eyes. Who is Igorot?
He is the reason I am what I am. He's the one who started all this. Captured my parents. Made me his champion. You asked me before how I got out? No. One day he decided what I was doing wasn't entertaining enough. He wanted to give me a real challenge. So when I got into the ring, my father was on the other side. He wanted me to kill him. I could not. I couldn't even lift my sword. He didn't like that. He came down himself, said if I would not do it, he would. So they started fighting. My father told me to run. Ink was there. He cleared the path for me. When you know how a phoenix works, right?
Yes.
Guess you could say, like a phoenix, through fire and ash, I was reborn. I ran. Saw the torches used to light the halls. I burned that place to the ground. I was free. But I was alone. If I hadn't found Vivi at all, I don't know where I'd be. I don't even know if my father made it out alive, so.
I think with that, he would just kind of like put his hands on your shoulders. You're not alone anymore. And I don't think a phoenix would shine nearly as bright as you. And then he would just give you a hug. Just kind of hold you in tight.
And she'll hug him back. Her grip is a little bit tighter. Kind of hard to breathe, but you know.
He's letting it happen, but he's in pain.
Is Ardevon and Vivi, are we there with you?
No.
Because we were all together before, right?
We went out one way, you guys went
but-
down a different alley.
Okay.
We haven't met back at the inn yet. I think Wayne would want to stay there as long as he felt Cosmo felt like she needed to kind of sit down and take a break before heading back to the inn.
It would take her a good minute, but she wouldn't want to keep everyone else waiting.
And Vivi and Ardevon, what are you guys doing?
think
I'm
we're
staying
slowly
with
making
him
our
just
way
to make
back.
sure he's okay.
Slowly making our way back to the inn.
Making your way.
Being the small but protective one in this situation, because my friend is in distress. And I'll just as we walk wherever it is, I'll just play calming low tones on my violin.
I always welcome a Vivi song, a Vivi original.
15 on a performance.
Nice.
I am a little worried for Amelia as well. I think I might have frightened her in my outburst. Likely she has gone back to the inn, which we should be approaching soon. Would it be alright if you went and checked on her? And I'll tell you, and he'd look for the closest wall for the exterior of the city. I think I'm gonna spend some time and sit atop the wall there. I need to think for a moment. But if you need me, that's where I'll be. But
All right.
right now she's alone, and I think she needs someone, and she seems to value your company.
And what about you, Ardevon? Do you need anyone?
I think I'm supposed to say no. Come find me after.
And just with a nod and no words, he acknowledges what you asked.
Yeah, and then he'll kind of split up.
Right.
I'll head back to the inn.
Okay. Eventually, everybody but Ardevon makes their way back into the suite of the inn. Amelia, you hear everybody return.
I'm gonna lock my door.
You're gonna lock it?
Aw.
Yeah, I'm gonna lock it.
Okay. I'll just find Amelia's room and just give it a little tap tap tap.
A little
Hello?
frazzle. Yes?
It's me. Just through the door. It's Vivi.
Is it just you?
It's just me and Princess. The smaller monkey one.
Oh,
We just
you
came
just
to
hear
check
her.
on you.
Yeah, I think if it's just you, she'll unlock the door. She'll open it up.
Just short
Yeah.
little Vivi and even shorter Princess just standing there, just ears back. Are you okay?
I look around. Is everybody here? Still? Or not yet?
You do see Wayne and Cosmo beginning to enter.
Oh, if they're beginning, she'll shove you in. And close the door. Grabs Princess's tail, pulls her. And then she'll lock the door again.
I don't want to pry. I heard you might have been a bit frazzled.
You look at her. She's shaken. It's probably obvious. Do you know what happened?
Well, I just heard that. Well, and I know that something very frightful happened, and I can only assume Ardevon said or did something that must have been terrifying.
I haven't thought it through yet. I can't process it. I don't.
Say no more. Say no more. And with that, Vivi will pull out his little bag of like trail mix and just, without a word, just start sharing.
Yeah, she'll take a little bit. Meet with you.
If there's a fireplace in the room,
Oh, probably. She
I'll
probably
light
got
it.
the
Or if
best
there's
room.
candles, maybe if she's got the best room, maybe light the fire, light the candles.
There is like a cozy wood furnace in the room.
Yeah. Just tidy up and just make my friend comfortable.
I think like probably if we're in silence for like a few minutes, because you're just letting her process and think and feel safe. She's probably sat down. She's probably on the floor. She probably doesn't look very, I don't know, regal. Like normally she's very put together, right? She's probably just like sitting like cross-legged on the floor. So, Ardevon is a good man. He's a nice, good man. You agree? You think that's true?
Well, I'll tell you what, I was terrified of him the day I laid eyes on him. I thought he was going to eat me. But he sort of, well, didn't. And that was the start. Eventually, I started to see, I think, what you're talking about. He is very stoic and strong. I think I would agree with that.
I don't know any of you very well. Not as much as others in my life. There was a part of me that truly believed. He warned us. He said, he was like, I'm going to see this man, and I don't know what I'm going to do. But I think there was a deep part of me that truly believed that he wouldn't do what he did. I suggested ideas that weren't murder. He agreed. I think that was probably it was very frightening, because it was everything I thought he wouldn't be, suddenly just there. I think that's what this is. And a powerful demon, probably.
It sounds like you had an expectation of maybe a belief that Ardevon was one thing, and then maybe a realization that he wasn't entirely that one thing, but partially another. Does that sound right?
The way I explained it, yes. Do you think I still think he's good. Don't think this changes that.
think you're a good person. And I think because you're a good person, Amelia, I think you give the people around you and the people close to you a lot of credit, maybe sometimes that we don't even deserve. Because when your heart is good, I think sometimes we imagine that everyone around us feels the same. And when we discover that there's rage and anger and fear in the hearts of our friends and our family and the ones we love, I think that's shocking. That's shattering of a belief, something that we feel keeps us safe. I think Ardevon is a good man. And I think I don't know everything he's capable of. I know that if he is capable of evil, our proximity to him can influence him to do good instead. I don't know. I'm not a philosopher. I'm not a wizard. I've never finished a single book I started. But I think there's good in all of us. I still think there's magic here. Something that connects us all. I can still feel it. And with that, Vivi just kind of goes back to just sort of a quiet, passive, and just calm way. Keeps eating his trail mix.
Speed. I don't think she'll say anything for a little bit longer. She's really thinking.
You don't have to say anything.
I want to insight check you.
Sure.
Well, she sucks. She got an 11. I think she wanted to
What is
see
it your...
if you believed when you were saying that you believe there's good in all of us, if you believed it about yourself.
Vivi definitely believes that. So whatever you think that she would perceive based on that role.
Meanwhile,
So stay quiet then.
out in the common area, Wayne and Cosmo, what are you doing?
Oh, we must be the first ones back.
Yeah. I want to sit down. She's gonna like sit on the couch, just lean back.
I think what Wayne would do, he would kind of sit kind of cross-legged at the table. He has his journal out if you look down and open your eyes, and he's writing down his experiences right now. Everything that the devil said, what he saw, just kind of cataloging it, but he's doing it one-handed, and he has a sheet of paper, and he's fanning you with mage hand with the other one.
And she'll just kind of smile at that, just be like, "Are you okay? How are you doing?"
I'm doing okay.
Okay. I mean, it was an
never seen-
intense moment.
I've never seen a devil before.
Neither have I.
Did you see the look in Ardevon's eyes?
I don't know. Actually, I think at that point I kind of heard the name and then I kind of blacked out a bit.
I mean,
Or
seeing
was
the
it, like-
devil it was exciting, but
Terrifying.
and you see him kind of look down at his arms and he's kind of got goosebumps. I've never seen Ardevon like that before.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, outside, or wherever you're going, Ardevon, where are you going?
Where are you? Where are?
He wants to go to like the top of a wall where he can kind of sit and look at the valley outside the city,
Yeah.
that kind of a thing.
Yeah. There's several places to do that. You kind of go out the northern side where the mountain really starts to pick up and just find a high spot. And as you're looking out, you can see the points of interest around the city. You can somewhat see the manor. However, it is dwarfed by the other buildings around, such as the city hall. Several temples to different gods and goddesses dot the city, and as well as the monastery of the Open Hand. Is you can see kind of off to your right a little ways, the northwestern side of the city. As the
sitting.
yeah, by this point the sun would be beginning to set.
Sitting on top of the wall, overlooking like the valleys and the mountains and everything. I think he would like take off like his armor, or at least like the bulk of his chest piece, and kind of lay it on his lap, and take off his scarf and place it on there. He's really in this introspective kind of feeling right now. And yeah, as he's like looking out, like nothing changes, but probably the first time in forever, you're gonna see him start crying. And I think he'll probably be there for a long time. If no one shows up, then we can kind of do something that like where he's gonna go with his thought process and everything. But he's gonna be there for a long time in that specific state.
Okay.
Cosmo might go looking for him after a
Well,
while.
that's a-
Just like
that's a-
he hasn't gotten back in a while. I think I'm
think-
gonna go check and see where he is. You wanna come with Wayne?
Yeah, I think. And he'd look over and notice that only Amelia's room is shut. Cuckoo. Knock on the door.
Okay, I'm
Amelia's room.
I'm gonna go find him.
No, wait,
You
wait for me.
go-
Wait for me.
Oh, okay.
Are you guys back?
How long has it been, do you think?
Probably by this point. Maybe like 1-2 hours.
Oh, okay. Amelia would like hear Wayne. She just like sits up. I think she's calmed down enough now that her like training kicks in and she's just like proper again, and she'll get up. Look at Vivi. He's just sitting there, I suppose. And then she'll open the door.
Is Ardevon in there with you?
No,
No,
just us.
he just needed some time and space.
I think
Don't worry.
Cosmo and I want to go talk to him.
Might not be a good time. He just needs a little bit of time on his own right now. He'll be back. Is it an emergency? Because this is not a good moment right now.
Perhaps you
I
should
want to
all
make sure
go.
my friend's okay.
He's
think
as
you
well
should-
as can be expected. I had a chance to speak with him. He's going to be okay. He just needs to figure some things out. But he'll be back.
Yay.
I want to find him. And then he's gonna walk out.
Yeah, me too. She'll go with him.
Perhaps you should go and make sure they.
As they start
Don't?
walking out, you can
They
you can
don't
hear him
find him?
outside the build. No, you can hear him outside the building. Ardevon!
And I assume by this point all the
I'm the
disguises have been
one!
removed and everything.
Mine's like
Yeah.
probably half
Maybe,
off. I didn't take
Yeah,
mine
I
off
would
yet,
have
but
I
it
would have
probably
removed
looks really
it after
bad.
about an hour.
Cosmos is just smeared. It's Sap smeared on Wayne.
Wayne just
when
has
she hugged him.
gray paint smeared on him.
If you want to go, Vivi, I think you should follow them. But if not, I'll welcome you here.
I'm sure they'll be fine. I'll stick around.
Eventually, as the sun sets and it turns to night, Ardevon, as you are sitting there, eventually you hear shouting coming from somewhere down below in the streets below you. Wayne and I assume Cosmo as well.
Out of the
There they are. Who's looking for us? I think that probably breaks his little introspective moment and gives him a bit of a smile. Because he thinks of those two as like the most pure of the party for sure. So anything that can pull you out of like this deep state, it's people that are just so, in his eyes, a lot more of the innocent innocent type. Their souls are very innocent. And so with a smile, like he would kind of stand up and like look back and wait, and once he sees one of them, he would just like raise an arm, just kind of signaling his presence. And
Yeah. Cosmo just grins and like, I found him. She'll just like run up and give him a big hug.
Ardevon! Oh,
close enough.
He'd run up to and be kind of awkward, like, "Oh," like put his hand on your shoulder, like,
Wait, the
Oh, Getting hugged, it is like, it's still kind of weird for him outside of the family or outside of home to be hugged. But yeah, it's like that
Cosmo.
surprise. But
She's
yeah,
done it
it's
before.
just his instinct reaction. But yeah, he'll kind of pat you and ask you, "So how are you doing?
How
feeling
are
any
you
better?"
doing? I mean, this is that was a pretty intense moment for you. I mean, wow, this guy you've hated for a long time, finally gone. That was an impressive bloodstain, I'm not gonna lie.
Not something I'm exactly proud of. But kind of looking over where you'd see his armor and his scarf. I just want to move on. I think Ardevon, the vengeance seeker, the hunter. I think it's time he moves on.
That's good. That's good. Change is good.
That a new Ardevon emerge. My
The
oath
best
being
Ardevon.
fulfilled. I find myself almost at a loss. But the wind and this seeing the valleys like this always seems to clear my mind. Anything to distract from the busyness of all of this just into the city. I don't know what lies ahead for me now. But I am I think, ready to begin anew.
That's good.
Can I do an insight check to see, like, even though you're putting on this face, he wants to know, like, can he sense the feeling and the emotion underneath that?
Yeah, definitely.
16.
You would definitely be able to see where, like, you've never seen wet fur before under his eyes. Even like in the torchlight or whatever, because it's getting dark, you're seeing that little bit of a reflection from the wet fur. It's obvious that, like, he's going through a lot right now. And, like, he has, like, a bit of a restlessness about him, kind of indicating feelings of fear or anxiety, but the face he puts on is still the same stoic, trying to be strong, Ardevon. But you can tell there's a lot he's trying to keep down.
I think with that, some of Wayne's awkwardness would kind of fade a little bit. And he kind of put his hand on your shoulder and just be... You see some tears well up in his eyes. You know, you don't always have to be the hero, Ardevon. When Cosmo died, you were the one to help me see reason. You talked some sense into me. I don't think what you did was bad. I don't think it's wrong to feel sad about it either.
That's part of the mystery with how I'm feeling. I don't regret the action, but I am not proud of it. It was an action made of fear. He saw my face, knew who I was. He condemned my home. I was so afraid that I would lose him again. He'd escape, and I would have condemned my family. I don't think it's regret on what I did, but there's just so much. That swing held so much pain. That swing was the weight of all of his victims, not just my own experiences weighed behind it. It felt very, very heavy. And I can't explain what it is I'm feeling, just simply I'm feeling a lot of emotion. I have a hard time identifying of which type. I do appreciate it, Wayne, as I think most people might see it as a blatant murder. Part of me feels it might have been so, but one that, strangely enough, I do not regret, even though I tried to avoid it. I wished to go another route, but my fear drove my hammer. And he's gonna pick up his scarf and hold it up. One life ended, a new life beginning. Ardevon the Vengeance, Ardevon the Hunter can finally rest, knowing that he fulfilled his oath. And he's going to raise up the scarf and in the wind let it blow and carry off into the valley, into the darkness.
As you do that, you feel this internal shift. And you feel a semblance of, not all of it, but a semblance of the magic that you use to fuel yourself up to this point. Leave. The magic that was, the specific magic that was fueled by hate and fear and loathing and protective instinct and the need to hunt. It all flies away with that scarf. You still feel the pulsing of magic within you, as, well, as the Mortician had put it, your force of will. But without that focus, without that drive, the sword point of that will flies away, leaving nothing but a swirling mass of raw magical potential. Sean, if you could go into your character sheet and remove your Oath of Vengeance subclass, please. And that is where we are going to go to break.
Okay.
Heavy stuff.
Yep. All right, we will be back in just a little bit, around 15-ish minutes. So for player reference, I would say probably get back by 7 o'clock, and then we will continue right where we picked up, or right where we left off. So we will see you all in just a little bit. And we are back. So, as after relinquishing his previous oath, eventually the three of you find your way back to the Roosted Wyvern, opening the door to find the dining hall. Still has quite a few people in it. In fact, as you look around, you realize there's more activity this late at night than you've seen in the days that you've been here. You see, it almost seems to be an unofficial celebration going on at the moment. Getting a little bit of Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead kind of.
Oh yeah, in the better light, you can definitely see Cosmos smudged a lot more, and then just see the gray on Wayne's face.
Yeah, Ardevon's arms are still kind of orangish in color.
And there's a
It was his
little bit
face
of gray
that
now
was-
too.
Yeah, little patchwork. No. Yeah, Ardevon has like his armor and stuff like kind of wrapped over his arm. He's not wearing any of it; he's just wearing his regular clothes. But yeah, he is bringing it with him.
Okay. Do you just head up to the suite?
I think so. Yeah.
Cosmo's
little-
definitely gonna want to wash off.
A little reluctant to, or like a little anxious to see Amelia because it looked like she was terrified of him. But that's where he's going.
All right.
I think we would have to pay for the room some more, so I would probably go pay for a couple more nights.
Alrighty. I believe this one was 4 silver a night, if I remember correctly.
I'll just
On
pay
Tuesdays,
for
yeah, I think it's 4 silver.
yeah. I'll just pay for 3 more nights.
Okay. That is a gold and 2 silver. And eventually, Vivi and Amelia, you hear the door open and the rest of the party walk in.
I'm still in my room, so but I would hear the door for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna put down all my armor and things. It's late at this point, yeah.
Yeah, it's getting pretty late into the night.
I'll excuse myself, Amelia. Thanks for the company.
Oh, thank you for your company.
And I slip out, go to my room.
When you slip out, I'd be like, "We found him."
Cosmo will immediately like dip down to pick him up and like give him a big hug. Victim number 3.
You hear his spinal column like cracking in a couple places, like chiropractic crack.
This is why we always have backup characters. Cosmo hugs you.
No, you just come to me when your back is out. That's all.
Ah, yeah, that's what it is.
And when you want it
I
out.
love you too.
How's she doing, Vivi?
Well, she's experiencing the world. She's experiencing learning that people are different than what we first perceive. I can't tell you exactly how it's going to end up, but I think maybe just
Absolutely.
keep on that righteous path, huh?
Yep.
I think a
Through
bit
and
worried
through.
about you. Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Actually, I was a bit worried about you too. How are you?
I'm feeling a lot better now. I've fulfilled my oath and have, in a sense, become someone anew. Ardevon, the vengeance seeker is gone. The hunter is gone. And I can finally explore who it is I was always meant to be. And focus on the things that truly matter. And so I've come to this assurance, come to this conclusion, and I feel much more at peace with myself in our predicament. I hope I can prove to Amelia that I am someone she can trust, and myself that I can trust myself. But I am optimistic. I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm excited to find out who Ardevon truly is, and always was meant to be. I think it starts with the mountain over there. To become a disciple of the blacksmith master on top. But we shall see. I think for now, I need a drink. I'm gonna drink a lot. Well, I'll drink a lot, but I won't. I'll try not to get wasted.
There's a lot of
still
partying
wanna-
going on downstairs. We could go downstairs
like
and
it.
drink.
Yes. Just if I ever start looking like I'm a little too far gone, please stop me. I want to at least, if Amelia wishes to speak, to be well enough in my mind to speak. But I need a bit of a drink, a bit of rest, and start a whole new day and a whole new chapter. But how's everyone else doing? I'm
I
not
think
the only
rest will
one
do
that's
us all
been
good.
struggling. How'd your mission go, Jeremy?
Who's that?
Baby's mission go,
Who?
Jeremy.
Sorry?
Tell me about it. Sorry, it's an old friend of mine. Name slip. But yes, how did your little task go?
Just quick in, quick out. Nothing of note.
Couldn't ask
Nothing.
for more.
What did
Too
you do?
exciting.
Where did you go?
Oh, just exploded someone's hand. That's all.
What?
Nothing.
Wait!
Nothing.
What?
I'm pulling
Bye!
out my notebook.
And he goes into his room.
No, she's still holding him. She did
Like,
technically put him down from the hug.
Immediately runs to his bedroom and closes the door.
Hey.
And Amelia,
Did you know he could do that?
No,
Amelia, you can definitely hear all this chaos outside.
I had no idea.
Ardevon, real quick, Ardevon, the drinks, do you have them sent up to the room, or do you go down and get them?
I think he's gonna go down.
Okay. Sorry, I cut you off, Nikki. Or Amelia. What were you gonna...
Okay, I was just gonna say I do think she'd like smile a little bit at everyone's like little laughter happening. But she's just basically she's gonna stay in her room tonight. She's gonna write stuff down, and try and process what happened that way. Yeah, I think that's it.
Question:
Yes.
how big is the gap between her door and the floor?
Like maybe half an inch.
Few feet, maybe.
It's not an American
Okay.
bathroom, okay?
That's
Not
fair.
yet.
Okay, so after a bit, a plate with a cut up chocolate chip muffin is just gonna slide under the door.
Some of it
Kinda
gets
smushed
smushed down, and some of it sticks to the bottom of the door.
But once it's all the way through, she just hears Cosmo not quietly at all, scuttling away.
Yeah, just a
And she's probably gonna go get cleaned up after that.
I would go down drinking with Ardevon.
all right. So night is spent drinking and stuff. How much money do you spend on drinks?
Yes.
Nothing too crazy, just something to keep the warmth, keep the buzz and just feeling good.
I'd be drinking a lot of spicy drinks.
But yeah, he's not going for to go broke or anything.
All right, so you both probably spend like maybe 2 or 3 silver then. Maybe 5 or 6, depending on your resilience, Ardevon. I mean, you were raised with dwarves, so.
What
That
would a
is true.
16 in a con save do to me as far as alcohol affecting?
You're pretty tipsy, but.
Okay.
But not full on drunk. Just, yeah, you're tipsy.
Did you want me to roll a con save as well?
You're more experienced in this than Wayne, so no, you're good.
I know my limit.
Yeah. Wayne does not.
Just there to get warm.
I'd be a lot warmer and a lot happier with a belly full of mead.
Same random dwarf.
There's just a bunch of people like walking around T-posing. I've been thinking, maybe I'm the Dragonborn. I just don't know.
Nope. Main character has gone far away at this point.
How many times do I have to tell you you're a lizardkin?
Mm.
It's a gecko.
I think while we're down there too, as Wayne starts to get tipsy, he would start like joining over in excitement with the other groups who are celebrating too, and just like kind of implant himself into it, celebrating with them, going around making his way around the bar.
Oh yeah, kicking my legs up and watching from a distance, enjoying the show of Wayne tripping over people.
But eventually, you all make your way up to your rooms, and sleep does take you, so everybody can mark off a long rest.
Oh.
Go. I think Ardevon would have as well before he went up. Probably asked like the bartender. Do you have any like pastries, baked goods for if you want to apologize to someone? Not very good at this.
I mean, we could just bake a cake and put "I'm sorry" on it and frosting.
Subtle. I like it.
I like it. Is it just the one flavor, or do you have multiple flavor options?
We got vanilla, chocolate, yellow. Don't know what the flavor is. I know it's just yellow.
Say what do you think a noble person might like the most?
Vanilla, probably.
I'm gonna do vanilla. Let's do vanilla.
Right. You want to say I'm sorry?
Let's
And he's like writing it down.
you can just put for Amelia on it,
Right.
and itty bitty I'm sorry in the corner.
You got it. Be done in a couple hours.
All right.
And
It's gonna sit there for a couple hours.
eventually you go up with the cake and you see everything is horribly misspelled on it. Even the sorry is missing an R in the corner.
He can't tell. He's taking their word for it.
It just says
Gosh.
it just says for Emily and is sorry. And what do you do with it, Ardevon, when you go upstairs?
I think like when he gets up there, he's just like kind of holding it. He's just gonna put it next to her door and shrug and go to bed.
So, as morning finds you all the next day, you feel well rested. Your wounds have closed and healed thanks to the blessing of the goddess Luliaris, who is the patron of sleep and rest, and is, just fun fact, is the reason why long rests are a thing.
Two was in my room last night.
I thought it was Emily.
But eventually you'll wake up. Amelia, you are probably the first one awake, just given your routines. And do you open your door?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think she'll wake up like even earlier, because she wants to like, because she fell asleep with all the paint and stuff. She didn't wash it off, so she wants to get that off. But yeah, she'll open her door and go to the bathroom, and she'll see this like cake, this sad little cake.
It is pretty poorly made.
She's kind of confused. Assumes it's for her, rightfully so. And she'll look at it, pick it up. Oh, she doesn't know what to make of it because it's not quite her, but I think she understands it's an apology cake.
Yeah, you just see in the corner is sorry.
Who's the only one that's not, like, the only people that can't write that I know of are Ardevon and Phoebe, right? Phoebe
No,
can.
Cosmo.
Ardevon and Cosmo.
Kind of
It's
can.
a
I would have
me.
assumed that she would have gotten help if she wanted to write. So I think Amelia can rightfully guess that it's probably Ardevon.
Mhm.
She'll just take it. I think she's gonna put it on whatever table is closest. And she's gonna leave it there, but then she'll go get ready.
Right. So you finally clean off, and by this point, everybody else is starting to wake up.
Yeah, I think Ardevon's like reading comprehension. Like he knows the letters. He can identify them. After a while, he can eventually sound out the messages. But he rather went hunting than stayed and learned how to make the right characters. But yeah, Ardevon's gonna wake up. He's gonna feel quite like rejuvenated and kind of ready to go. So yeah, he's got a little bit more pep to him than normal. Doesn't have the weight of going to the city to meet his rival anymore.
I think Wayne would probably be the last one to wake up. He'd be just completely passed out.
Yeah.
And if you open the room, he's not even on his bed. He's on the ground.
That's amazing. It's just trailing paint all over the floor.
Vivi's already awake and like playing the cup game downstairs with bar patrons.
Cosmo would probably like sit in the lounge area, kind of drawing and stuff in her notebook, getting in her daily writing practice.
So, one thing you can definitely tell just going on outside, there's a hustle and bustle as you see little newsboys kind of run around handing off papers to people. Newspapers to people, and there seems to be this somewhat weight that seems to have been lifted over the town come the next day. A little bit. And even down in the main area of the inn, you see people reading through the papers. The headline of which, you see is "Corruption Uprooted."
Words boring.
I miss a good root stew.
Have we anything in particular on our agenda?
Well, we saved Ruby. We saved your sister. Where did she go to? Did you
She
send her
went
home?
She went home. She was escorted by Dante's master person. And so they were going to protect Tripton for a while after escorting her home, and that's what they should be.
Well, there is this matter of some pirates that had been causing trouble. If you recall, there was another job that we could have done, but we passed it by. Had to do with some pirates out on the East Coast.
You're not wrong.
But if that's not interesting to everybody, we could find something else to do.
I think at this point, this is when Wayne would wake up. Like one eye is like almost like glued shut from just being dry.
Kaz was probably
Well,
just gonna like hand him a glass of water. Just yeah.
Well, I was gonna do that, but you beat me to it.
She'll kind of like wipe his face with her handkerchief so it can, so she could get some of the paint off, and maybe open his eye. Better.
Oh yeah, that's much better. Thank you.
Okay.
Did you
Yeah,
guys
I mean-
bring the paper in from outside, or is it still just happening outside?
If Vivi wanted to. I don't know if Ardevon would think to.
I might have seen it, read it, but just from a distance, but not really.
Yeah, basically what you, Vivi, could probably surmise together is Cromwell didn't want to let anything sit, so he went straight to the public with the findings that he found, and you could see like a list of names that were on the newspaper of things that he found in like the contract book that he found, as opposed to the pricing book that you found.
Now, were we down here to bounty hunt? Was there, or were we just here? We were just here for Ruby and Ardevon's sister.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We didn't,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
we didn't have like a bounty that we were chasing.
No, however, you do know more bounties. There are things like monsters on the north side of the volcano, the pirates that you mentioned, the bandits you had already taken care of.
Right.
And then there was
Here's the job from the alchemist.
Yeah, job
Yeah,
from
the
the
contract.
alchemist. Yeah. To which, if you do not fulfill, then somebody else will be sent to collect the payment from you guys. Collect the rest of the gold that you owe her if you don't do that. And then there's also, you haven't seen any job boards in here if there's anything new. And then the only other thing that came up was Ardevon stuff with the blacksmithing stuff.
Which I think Ardevon would talk about. If it is all right with everyone, we could do a few things here in the city, the town, and nearby. I would like to have some time to take up the offer from those two blacksmiths that we visited. I would like to, there's many things I'd like to do with them, but I don't wish to take all of our time and have everyone else kind of just sitting around. But if it's all right with everyone, I would like to go and essentially begin my work.
Can I
That's
help
fine.
you?
I don't see why not.
Yes. Have you decided on what you're going to make and what metal you're going to use?
I think as a what's the word? As a symbol of starting anew, I'm going to melt this down. My father's old armor that I've been wearing.
Wow.
And craft myself a new set of armor. I don't know if that's going to be my piece, but it might be, depending on how well it turns out.
It's gonna look so cool.
Maybe it's going to be the first time I've ever worn anything that looks new. So it's going to be a little weird. I'm sure I'll rough it up real soon.
It's okay.
Talk to Cosmo about cool designs. She drew this picture of Bahamut for me.
Is it a good-looking picture?
Yeah.
Yes. It looks
Okay,
fantastic. You could put Bahamut on
It's like Trogdor.
She's just like, oh, stop. It's nothing. It's just a little doodle, you know. And you know, I just, you know,
Yes.
created the designs on my skin, so you know.
With the message, the magical message that had come in the day before, were there instructions from
Grimshaw.
Grimshaw? Thank you. Were there instructions from Grimshaw to deliver it in person or postage
yes.
mail it? Or
Yes. He in his message he told you to respond in the 25 words that you get, to respond with where you were staying, and then somebody would meet you there the next day.
Having not asked that at the time, can we have retroactively said that's what it would have done?
Yeah. I would say this.
Okay.
You would see. You would hand it off to a inconspicuous looking, just like dwarven man. But upon getting close, you do see he is riddled with battle scars. But they're most from a distance, just given his complexion, they're kind of hard to make out. But he would accept the thing, nod, and then take his leave.
That's it. Okay, then I gave him the booklet then. Can I insight check to make sure this is the right contact?
Go ahead and make an insight check.
Okay, that's a max on the guidance roll. Insight. So an 11.
An 11. Yeah, you're pretty confident this is the dude. He matches the what little description Grimshaw was
Okay.
able to fit in.
All right, mark that off. Done.
I also need to get a new notebook. When I sent those papers to Gran, I'm starting to run low on paper now.
Yes. Do you want me to draw the thing on that one as well? The Bahamut?
Well, it depends. I might be able to find some paper to add to this notebook, and you can rebind it in.
Ah.
But if we can't, then yes.
Yay.
Is Amelia with us in like this talk?
Yeah, so I think she is in here. She's just sitting like pinpoint straight on the chair. Like she's listening, but I think I don't know how it comes across, but she feels very like awkward and embarrassed right now. So she's probably just like listening but not contributing a whole lot.
And yeah, I think at this point of the conversation, he would kind of look over at Amelia. And, how are you doing? What are your thoughts on what you wish to do?
I think, like, I have been. Whatever you guys wish to do, I will follow and learn.
That's what I usually say because I don't have anywhere else I need to go really. Either.
So, oh, I'm echoing. Sorry. So Wayne, you mentioned you wanted to help me with blacksmithing, yes? Does anyone else wish to join along for the ride, or
Sure.
Perhaps Amelia, if you wish to accompany Wayne as he shops, or you can come with us, or do as you wish. Vivi, you can do as you wish, of course.
Mhm.
But I'll be heading straight to the blacksmith myself. And that's where you can find me when all of you are done doing your things. But that's,
I'd like to go
we're
with and
open.
actually ask about their design process and stuff because it looks really cool.
You're
Okay.
you're gonna make a new set of armor then? Is that right?
That is, if they'll allow it, yeah. That is the first thing that I wish to do. It's the final act of rebirth, to let
Well-
go of the shadows of old, kind of a thing.
In that case, here, take this. And Vivi reaches into his bag and he pulls out this long strip of gorgeous imported silk. Here,
Yes.
take this. Line the insides of your armor with it. With my blessing.
How long have you been carrying this?
How long? Oh, just a couple of hours.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it'll
I
feel
mean, it's
very,
very
nice,
nice.
against your fur on the inside of the armor.
It'll keep it from getting frizzy.
That sounds great. I much appreciate it. It does feel very nice, very silky.
Very silky.
I
I'll
imagine
probably
this
give like
whole
a little wink to Princess, because I'm sure that it was Princess that got it.
Yes.
Wayne just assumes you had a very productive cup game.
That's a good assumption. Just don't question it and you'll be fine. Cosmo's ready. She's raring to go. She's
Yeah, I think I'd give
I think-
the nod, and nod to Amelia specifically, and like there's that look in the eyes, like we know we need to have a talk at some point. But then yeah, if she doesn't say anything, he's gonna go.
All right. And at this point, I think it's fair to say that basically more than anything, we'll have in-game, just to kind of recover from that, maybe like about 2 weeks of downtime here within Ashwindell. So,
nice.
but we'll
That's a lot of opportunity to cup game.
yeah. So we'll keep an eye. If we don't get to everything we do in the within the downtime, we can, when we start the next episode, we can just go over things to do if it's not like too narratively important. But we'll head over. So Ardevon, you are going to the Black Anvil, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Although, really quick, when we walk outside, Wayne would want to read that paper. Does it, obviously this isn't out of context question, does it say mention Inspector Cromwell at all?
Yes, it does. It's just like, yeah, he was attacked by the sheriff. Cromwell had to defend himself, and then basically a list of everybody that it details Freehallow's like fraud and corruption, but as well as the contracts that he had written up between with people, with things like the sheriff and other guards, and things like arrests are still currently being made.
I would read it out loud to Cosmo and Ardevon and say, Inspector Cromwell's in town.
Whoa! Really? That's so cool! What was he doing?
Oh,
And then I'd read you the rest of the
killing
story.
people, just killing people in the house we left. That's all.
What?
What?
Whoa.
Who?
What?
Oh, Cromwell? No, never heard of him.
The newspaper does speculate that Beltan Freehallow died. He's speculated to have been killed in one of his corrupt deals gone bad, and they're not sure. They're not sure what it is, but it is stated that finding his killer is a lower priority than finding the mayor's killer.
There you go, Ardevon. You have the perfect cover. Someone else more important dying, which is sad. But hey, you get a
it is stated the mayor was also on. Had a contract with Freehallow. Yeah.
Never mind.
Gavin, during some of my downtime, I think Vivi would actually. Oh no, I already gave the book away. No, never mind. Forget it.
If you wanted to preemptively like copy down some of the stuff in the book, I'd allow it.
I think well, so that's what I was going for, and I think I would have given the copy to Cromwell so that he had the info as well.
All right, yeah. We'll hold off on that for later, but you do have a copy of names and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, after we do the blacksmithing, can we please go find Inspector Cromwell? I want to say hi to him.
You can go as when you wish, of course. I'll be doing
Okay,
this for
then
a long
after the
time,
blacksmithing.
The reason why I gave 2 weeks of downtime is that's about how long it's going to take to craft.
I know. Wayne
Yeah.
doesn't know that, though. He doesn't have a concept of
That's
how
why,
long it actually takes.
Ardevon's like, it's going to take a long time, and so
Yeah,
you
so
can
we'll go
at
right
any point.
after then.
It's gonna take too long. He might be gone by the time I'm done.
Wayne will still
you know
go
what?
to
Hey,
the beginning.
Can you go? How about you go get us some water and go speak to Cromwell real quick, and then come back?
Okay, I can do that.
All right.
You want to go with Cosmo? Be more than welcome.
I'm going with you. I still want to ask them about their creative process and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. Eventually, you make it to the Black Anvil, and Vivi and Wayne, you make it to Vivi. You notice Wayne has like flasks of water that he's carrying, but you both arrive at the sheriff's office, and the doors are wide open, and people are coming in and out. There's a lot of booking going on, where you see people, some guards still in uniform, are being stripped of their uniform, of their badges, and placed in manacles, and being booked and processed. And you see Cromwell. You do see Cromwell going in, shouting, or not shouting, but like relaying orders to people.
Hey, Cromwell!
You over there, you.
Oh,
Well, I didn't expect to run into you here.
Did you get my letters?
I did, yes.
All 277 of them.
Yes, and I stopped in Clifftown before coming here. It's a delicate situation, but I think we can work something out with the jury.
Thank you for that.
and
I see you're
Vivi, you are
completing-
there too as well. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I see that you're completing your investigation. I saw the news. If you want, we can give you some more information.
I'll take any information I can, and you can just give it to one of the clerks here or something. We can file it under an anonymous tip.
Okay, I'll do that then.
And but before you go, he kind of approaches and like leans down and he's just like, we may have a bit of a lead with the refounders in Storasil, but it's tricky as of now. Bjorn volunteered himself to do a bit of digging, and he'll reach out to us and then you if he finds anything significant. So just be prepared. Well, last I saw, he managed to sabotage an entire hideout. Made 35 arrests that day. No casualties.
You just see him kind of like this big old grin. Ah, that's my brother.
And I'll just quietly go file paperwork with the clerk. As you
Yeah.
had mentioned before.
Yeah, you see, you see a couple clerks there, and they've got a mountain of paperwork of like locations, known businesses, all this stuff. It's just like, oh, there's so much to go through. What's this?
Oh well. This is just payroll. That's all. Just a payroll I found. Thought I'd copy it for you.
And you see, he like glances at it. Oh, this is the golden goose. and then he's just like, yep, thank you. And he's just like a bit flustered, but he's just like, and you see, he kind of looks around. Barry, can we get requisition for another desk, please? And then they return to their chaos.
And I'll sign the end of it as a P and P.
All right.
So Wayne was wanting to give him a play-by-play of what happened. So since he told him to leave a tip, he's just going to take out his notebook of where he wrote down all of his experiences. And then he said he wants it to be anonymous, so he'll just go and like scribble out some names and then there. But it's like detail for detail everything that happened at the mansion, and then what he knows about the other stuff too.
I'm just saying this. Are you sure? Because you're not handing it to Cromwell. You're handing it to the investigative thing, who are still looking for the killers of the people in the mansion and Freehallow's killers.
I think he'd still give it to Cromwell.
Okay, to Cromwell, not the clerk.
Yeah.
Okay. Very important distinction.
Right. But he said he wanted it anonymous, so he scribbled out the names.
And then he's just like, should have known.
And yet I left like a signature of who.
I know, but yours was just found evidence.
Right.
His was basically an admission to killing them.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And
A
so
play-by-play.
Yeah, and so Cromwell's just like, should have known. You keep this. It has no business finding its way in my filing cabinet. Now go. I'm very busy. And he gives
as we leave, Vivi's like, that was a really good thrust at the end there. Good job. And just like scampers off. No context.
and yeah, he kind of just like, what? and it's like he wants. You get the feeling like he wouldn't mind staying and talking with you guys a bit more, but he is so overwhelmed with the stuff that he has to do currently. Yeah. So as you are kind of as you're making your way through eventually Ardevon and Cosmo, you do arrive at the Black Anvil. And you hear them just hammering away as normal.
Do they have like an inventory of stuff or like stuff on display? Like more than just the armor?
Their armor is on pretty magnificent display, but you know, they've got some really well made like weapons and stuff. Really well made weapons and stuff, like on racks and everything for purchase.
Yeah, she'll just kind of look at everything and kind of sketch a few of them. You know, the ones that she particularly likes the designs of.
Mm-hmm. Most of them aren't like super insanely designed.
Right.
However, they are very well made, very solid, and just like even you pick it up, you feel it feels perfectly balanced and just solid, heavy, everything a weapon should be.
Mm-hmm.
And as you approach Corgil, you see he comes
do
up.
a little knock.
Yeah, he comes up from his little cellar. Oh, friends! You return. Oh,
Hello.
it seems we're free of a little nuisance. Well,
Yeah.
so,
However that happened. Of course. I was wondering if perhaps I might use your smith, your blacksmith. I wish to take you up on your offer. And I brought something to kind of to smelt and make something anew, with some additional material, of course. But I wish to know if that is still on the table.
Of course, a fellow patron of the arts. We will do fine work together. But this is your project. And should it pass our expectations, then we will help you to navigate to Agramar, if you so choose.
and you hear Rosov kind of pipe up.
It is very dangerous, so whatever equipment you make should be fairly sturdy.
Very well. If it's all right with you, I think I wish to create a full set of armor.
And he kind
I
of,
think that is a good choice.
yeah, and he kind of smiles.
Rosov! He may need more of your expertise than mine.
Rosov, you see, she goes, pushes away the gauntlet that she was forging. Just like,
What do you have in mind?
I'm not entirely sure. I've created many little pieces of things, but I've never created an entire set before. But recently, I find myself at a new crossing, a new beginning. And so to start off, I would like to dispose of this armor. He kind of show his armor belonged to my father in the past wars that he's fought in. Weathered, torn, it looks like really just gross. The tabard is like it's been so worn you can't tell what the emblems anything used to be. It's just a faint coloration with a lot of cuts and things. The armor is very patchwork in the places he's repaired it, but it's you can tell like this is something you probably find on a skeleton, like in the waist. It's very worn.
Rosov inspects it, leans into it, taps some of the metal with her hammer.
Strong foundation. We will need to add more material, which we can provide, but this is good foundation. Have you ever forged whole set of armor before?
Not an entire set, but I have done the individual pieces, none that all, match. But I think this is what I wish to do. I will follow the inspiration my brother taught me and showed me, and I will smith my soul into it.
For armor, you need more than just your soul.
I need money too? Okay, well, how much?
A weapon, theoretically, anyone can pick it up and wield it. But when you forge your own armor, you forge for yourself a second skin. You are making yourself in metal form. Every measurement needs to be exact. Every plate needs to be aligned to allow for movement.
Plus was
Understood.
taking rudimentary notes.
Well, let's start melting it then.
And she opens up the hatch down to their little basement thing for you.
Oh, I gotta go down there. Ooh. When we dispose of his armor, he's going to like kind of give it a great deal of respect. This is both his and his father's past, sort of being smelted down to pave the way for the future. So it's a very symbolic and reverent moment for him, because he respects his father like a ton. So yes, it is a very much like a very precious thing to dispose of that armor. But then we'll get to
Alright.
work.
Okay. Now, there will be needed extra materials in this. What is just give me an estimate. How much money are you willing to pool into the extra materials?
Quite a lot. How much, would you say is, like, for a full set of armor for just a random going rate? It's hard to know for
so
sure,
so your armor is currently chainmail, or at least the equivalent to chainmail. The equivalent to splint mail is 200 gold pieces, and the equivalent to full plate is 1,500.
but okay. Then we're doing splint armor.
All right.
I would definitely offer all the money that I have to help you as well.
All right. And how much gold would we be putting in total then?
How much do you
I-
need?
First, if we're doing like the splint armor quality of resources and things, he's got it all covered. But I think just for for splint armor, he's gonna try and be the highest end he could possibly do. So he's gonna probably put in himself like 500 gold.
Okay.
I'll put in 100 as well.
All right, that's 600. And then this process will take quite a while. So during so Ardevon, this will take the whole 2 weeks
Yeah.
to be forging it. During the time that he's doing this, the rest of you also have opportunities to stop by while he's working.
I would be spending most of my time in there with him, casting guidance while he's going through, and then taking notes and all that
I
kind of
ask
stuff.
for tongs. I ask for all the things from you.
Yeah, so basically I'm like
Cosmo or
I'm like
whatever.
his little helper right now.
You take his measurements.
I'll leave bardic inspiration on top of those guidances whenever we pop in, just to help him roll higher on whatever.
All
he
right.
needs.
And
I
does
also need lunch brought every now and again.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
I do think, because I don't think Amelia would spend the whole 2 weeks just like avoiding Ardevon. I don't think she's that kind of a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So I think after like a day or two, she would show up. I guess wherever Ardevon is, or maybe in the morning, like when you're getting ready to go down to blacksmith. It's just a short little conversation. She would just say, I know what you're doing is important. I know we have to talk. I don't want you to have to think about me while you're doing something that's important to you. So forget about our conversation. Don't worry about it. We'll talk about it when you're finished.
I think he wants to do a little bit of an insight check there. Just to kind of gauge, like, how she's... Never mind, it's a 5, so she hates me so much right now.
I think you could just take it at face value. She's putting, like, her best foot forward, right? She's being, very proper. He said he would come back.
I know. I just don't know why it changed places.
Yeah, that was weird.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Weird.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Amelia, like, you can see,
There we
like,
go.
she's acting relatively normal. So however you kind of took her opinion before, I think is how you can take it now.
Very well.
All right.
I would love to speak with you when the time comes, but I appreciate your understanding in this endeavor that I am trying to take. But I would very much like to speak with you.
All right, we'll postpone it for now. And then every day she's gonna give you a fortune's favor. Or if you feel like you're gonna do anything particularly challenging, she will give you another. You can come to her, and she'll give you another one. She'll give you as many as you need every day.
And one thing before you go. Do you prefer vanilla, chocolate, or yellow?
Talking about cake?
Maybe.
I'm a vanilla person.
Okay. Okay, good. Like, respect to the barkeep. Like, he knows his stuff.
Except had a spell.
Yeah, that's not important.
So, Ardevon. Long, arduous days. Day in, day out. Hammering away. Rosov not being so quiet, almost like a drill sergeant, but a helpful one. Scolding you when you mess up, but giving you a nod of approval when you finally get it right. She had taken your measurements and everything, and is having you craft the armor piece by piece. Craft the armor piece by piece, and as you are doing this day in and day out, I'm going to need you to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Can he use that bardic inspiration?
He most certainly can.
What is it?
Is it a D8?
You could re-roll again, because I would have given you fortune's favor.
I would like to re-roll.
All right, go ahead and re-roll.
I rolled a natural 2, so...
Ah,
Aha, twice as good. Okay, what's the bardic dice? Is it a D8 now?
It's a D8.
Okay. 8 plus 5 is a 13. I guess a guidance, because Wayne's there as well. if that's allowed. Okay. Just, they're bringing me lunch, so it's making me feel better. That's a total of 16 then.
16? Okay, you do not take any exhaustion as of right now. So you go, first thing you get done are the gauntlets and the boots over almost over the first couple days. And then you move to the greaves next, the next couple of days. All right, go ahead and give me a blacksmithing check. 2 of them, so it's going to be your strength plus your proficiency.
First one is a 16,
Okay.
and the second one is a 19.
All right.
Plus add the guidance rolls too.
Okay, the first one was a 1, the second one was a 2. So a 17 and 21.
17, 21. Okay. Right. And then give me a Constitution saving throw for when you make the Greaves.
22.
Okay. No exhaustion. And go ahead and give me the blacksmithing check.
That is a 23. I guess I need
Okay.
to roll with. And that one was a nat 1. So let's see, 23. The 23 is actually a 25. I keep forgetting to roll with guidance.
Okay. I just need to pull up my calculator real quick while you're making this.
The strength, the nat 1, even though it's a 1, it's still a 13 total.
Okay.
You do every day. You are getting that
Reroll.
Nikki stuff
Could I use it on that
or
second,
Amelia.
Yeah.
second one?
Yeah, for the blacksmithing check.
Okay. That is 24.
Plus 24.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay.
You're all my friends.
You are at so for this armor you have a combined total of 62 for the 17, the 21 plus the 24 right there. So 17 plus 21, hold on, wait. So it's 17, 21 plus 24.
25 plus 24. You had him roll twice. He re-rolled the lower one.
Ah.
So you got a 25 and a 24.
Okay, 7. Okay.
So good. That's crazy.
Because
Okay,
he
so-
rolled a nat 1 and then changed it up to super high.
Okay, so the first one, 17 and a 25, was for the gauntlets and the boots, and then what was it for the greaves? There were only 3 checks so far. The other thing was a Constitution saving throw against exhaustion.
24 and 25, I believe, were the strength checks.
Okay,
Look at
so
the-
and then one of them was also a 17. So 17 plus 17
Yeah.
plus 24 plus 25. Okay, you're at total of
17. Oh, yeah, it says 17, there's 21, and then the other strength ones were 25, and then, yeah, 24.
yeah. There was only one strength check for the greaves, not 2.
Right, that's
17 plus
Okay.
21 plus 25. So you're at 63. All right, so arduous days spent doing this, and then once you get to the breastplate, the torso coverings, go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Out-of-body inspiration.
You're muted as well.
okay. That is a total of 25.
25, still no exhaustion. You are going strong, and you're starting to get the hang of this. And this strange enchanted forge, it seems to be helping, but doesn't feel like a crutch. It feels like, as you're doing it, it feels like the forge is trying to get you to prove yourself before it relinquishes its heat. And go ahead and make another blacksmithing check, a 4th one.
Let's see, plus a D4. 26.
Okay. Right, and will you be making any sort of helmet armor with this? Head armor?
Yeah, probably.
All right.
It'd finish the set, so.
All right. And for a final thing, give me Constitution saving throw.
Ba-ba-da-boo. 22.
22. All right, still no exhaustion, and give me one final blacksmithing check.
Close the things.
Whew.
That is a 30.
Ho 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 ho! All right. So, finally, after the 2 weeks, you go and you place it. You have a mannequin down there. And you place it piece by piece as you finish each piece, and then the plates interlock together. Describe how this new armor set looks.
The color and texture, immediately I think of kind of like from Oblivion, the Imperial armor that the guards wear. It's kind of like this darker iron color. So just a gray, a dark gray, and it's like not super shiny or anything. It's pretty coarse, but it's like meant for being extra sturdy, extra hard on the more plated parts. But I think a lot of it, I mean, I've been kind of looking up different things. I think a lot of the style, I mean, it's kind of ironic, but Blythe from Elden Ring, he has like more of like a pretty slim set. It's pretty fitting, but it is very fitting for what I would assume to be like splint armor of a very fine quality. It's got some very intricate looks about it, but it's a little tighter around his body, but when he wears like a cloak around it, it kind of fills it in and makes it seem very finished and full. And he would use the silk BB gave him and make it look nice and pretty and comfy. But a lot of it, yeah, is just that dark gray, pristine armor. But it's nothing, you know, over the top, fancy, extreme, elegant or anything, but it is very well made, like for combat.
All right. So, as you finish it, Ardevon, go ahead and remove the chainmail from your inventory. You exceeded the total score DC of 110 with a total of 119 in the score. So add a splint mail +1 to your inventory.
Yay!
It's awesome.
And with that, as you finish that, you see Rosov kind of gives like an approving nod. Ah, this seems presentable.
It'll take some getting used to, but I can. Your teaching has been very helpful, very insightful.
Oh,
Could never have done it without you.
we are not done.
Yeah, okay.
And you see she kind of heads over heads over to the stairs as she walks up a couple steps. There are, well, never trust a blade that you haven't swung before, yes? Never trust a bow you haven't shot. Corgil! It is ready for field test.
I'm not an it.
And she kind of chuckles and looks at you. And you see... you see she looks at you and heads up the stairs out of sight. What do you do?
I'd look at like whoever's with me and
Which would be Wayne and probably
Wayne.
Cosmo.
give him just like a.
Do we go
look
up?
and- Yeah, he's gonna go up.
Can I propose something else for this armor at GM's discretion?
Yeah.
Perhaps a lot of these tougher armors I know in 5e come with like a disadvantage on stealth rolls.
I would actually, yes, that is a fantastic point. That is actually a fantastic point. So,
You know where I'm going with
yes,
this
with the
already.
silk. Due to the silk that Vivi donated, because that silk would have gotten you about probably worth 1,000 gold worth of imported silk. I would say spending that much money on it, you do not have disadvantage on stealth checks with this armor. It does not really
Okay.
clink.
Fine. If you insist.
That I was like, I didn't even think of that. Honestly, you got a total score of 119. If you got to 130, I would have given it a +2. But
Can re-roll some
Yeah.
of those if you want.
so, as you go, you so do you what do you do after seeing her disappear?
I think we follow her up.
Right?
Inquisitively.
Do you take your armor up, or what are you doing?
Not yet. It takes too long. I'm curious right now. So, just shirtless, sweaty Ardevon going up.
And as
This
you
is like your Marvel hero moment.
Yeah.
Where like there's the
Yeah,
screenshot.
and
You got like the
as
furry
you
pecs.
as you step
Exactly.
out, as you step out, you see her walk over to her set of armor, and you see she starts getting it. Corgil, help me with this. Corgil goes over, and then she looks at you. All right, Brookie. Grab your armor. Let us test your metal. And as she gets her gauntlets on, she slams her fists together. And that's where we're going to end it today.
Awesome.
Fine.
Love it.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for watching. This has been a very fun episode. Always love doing these episodes. So just
Very
before we head out, just a reminder, we do have our Patreon stuff that Andrew was saying in the beginning, and we will be doing cool things like giveaways and stuff, so just keep your eye out for that. And I am working on a couple big projects myself, which I will announce them probably in the YouTube community posts once they get to a much closer to a releasable state. And the last thing to keep your eye out is our home game. Our home game that I run is actually going to be nearing its end pretty soon, probably within the next couple of months here. And so, once that ends, we've already got the beginnings of the planning. There will be a second campaign that will be going weekly, either on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. We still haven't fully decided on that. But keep your eye out for that, and we will announce it once it starts, once we get it more figured out and fleshed out. But that will be upcoming, so you'll start seeing more of us. Well, we may have different cast members for this stream. So I believe the only two cast members of Paragon that will be participating in that campaign are Erica and Andrew, if I believe correctly. But yeah, keep your eye out for that. There will be a lot more D-Fourtress stuff to come. This is only the beginning. And that's either hopeful or an ominous threat. You can take that as you wish. But once again, thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you all in the next episode. Take care, and bye-bye.